As we finish our week on putting our trust in God, I want to encourage you today to read one more psalm. That's Psalm 115, which is 18 verses long, but it's less than one page, and it's well worth your time. It's a psalm that contrasts the impotence, the weakness, the powerlessness of idols with the greatness and the power of the living God. And for example, in verse 4 it says, "Their idols are silver and gold, the work of human hands. They have mouths but do not speak, eyes but do not see. They have ears but do not hear, noses but do not smell. They have hands but don't feel, feet but don't walk. They make no sound in their throats." I mean, basically saying they're nothing. They're just a creation of human hands. And verse 8 says, "Those who make them are like them, so are all who trust in them." Now we can read that part of the psalm and think, it's so foolish. Why would anybody be stupid enough to think that an idol, something made with human hands, had divine power or spiritual power? And yet, how often do we put our trust in something that is less than God? We may not put our trust in an idol that's got eyes and a nose and a mouth, but do we put our trust more in our money and our material possessions than we do in God? Do we put our trust more in our own ability than we do in God's guidance and leadership? And verse 11, our verse for the day, says, "You who fear the Lord, trust in the Lord." And there's an exclamation point at the end of that sentence. He is their help and their shield. Now you may say, hey, that sounds familiar. And it should, because just yesterday in Psalm 28, David uses that same image of trusting in God. It's like a shield. It's a form of protection in the battles and the struggles of life. So as we end this week looking at trusting in God, I would just really encourage you to take time to reflect, where am I ultimately putting my trust? And do my choices and my decisions, my planning, how I spend my day, does it reflect that my ultimate trust is in God? In one sense, it's easy to engrave on a coin or stamp on a bill, "In God we trust." It's another to really put our trust more in God than in the bill on which those words appear. So I pray that as we've spent this week, that it will help you to trust God more, to lean into God's loving, powerful presence day by day.